First attempt at one of these videos, please excuse all my errors. I'd like to talk today about the three trig functions in geometry: sine, cosine, and tangent. There's two very useful tools. One is an acronym called SOHCAHTOA. Let me write that down. SOHCAHTOA. And another is a formula, I'll put it in a different color, is the function of an angle equals side side divided by, I'll put other side. Again, excuse my errors. The function of the angle equals side divided by other side. Now SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA shows the relationship between the angle of a right triangle and the sides of the right triangle. And the sine of the angle equals the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. There's SO from SOHCAHTOA. And the cosine of an angle equals the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse, and of an angle equals the opposite side divided by, the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. Again, sorry about all these zoomings and so forth. All right, now, assuming you have a right triangle, let's assume that's the right angle. Opposite the right angle, I'll draw a little arrow, opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse, and let's say we have a 39-degree angle. If we're talking about that particular angle, then the side opposite or across from the 39 we'll call the opposite side, and the side that is part of that angle, that forms part of the angle, some people say it's next to the angle, is the adjacent side. Assuming that the hypotenuse, we'll just make up a number, we'll come up with a number, assuming the hypotenuse is 12, and we want to find the opposite side, let's call the opposite side x. If we want to find that, we can use the function of the angle equals side divided by other side. Since we're going to be using the opposite side and the hypotenuse, we don't really care about the adjacent side right now. The function that we're going to be using is sine. So we set it up like so. I'm just getting a different color. So we can say that the sine, that's the function, of the angle that we're going to be talking about is 39, you don't use the right angle, equals, it says sine equals opposite divided by hypotenuse, so the opposite side from 39 we'll call x, and we'll divide that by the hypotenuse, which in this case is 12. Algebraically, we can multiply both sides by 12, and we get 12 times the sine of 39 equals x. Now, all you have to do is take your TI-84 or whatever graphing calculator, or just any calculator that has trig functions, plug it in, 12 times the sine of 39, and it'll come out to 7.6, so x equals 7.6. Now to see if that makes sense, the hypotenuse is always the longest side of a triangle, so it makes sense that it's less than 12. If we came up with a number greater than 12, then obviously there would be a problem there. You did something wrong. That's how you can use the trig functions if you know one of the angles other than the right angle and one of the sides to figure out the other sides. And we could have gone ahead and we could have used the cosine to figure out what A is, the adjacent side. And in the next video, we'll talk about how you use the inverse functions to find the measure of angles.